Welcome back to another episode of Hot Mess Espresso, guys. We have the Underclassmen on today. Hi, guys.
What's up?
Oh my God. So this has been a long time coming. So let's just start from the beginning. How did you guys met in high school, right?
Yeah.
So how did you go from just being buddies in high school to being a music duo?
Well, the friendship started on the basis of music. Like it was literally me going to Dan and saying I would like to play "Cold" by Crossfade at our high school's little coffee house night.
Mm-hmm.
And will you play it with me? Pretty much.
It was kind of like that. It was more of, you're the best guitar player I've ever seen in my life. Please help me. I am desperate.
Yeah. I bad singer, you good guitar player. Please help me.
Sounds about right. Oi. So before you were the Underclassmen, you were, and I know you guys are kind of like meh about this, but you were Letters to Ireland. Where the fuck did that name come from?
First off, we've tried so hard to keep this under wraps. So this is a hot mess espresso
Exclusive.
here of the letters from Ireland lore.
I came up with the name. I have literally zero idea where it came from. I think so our friend Josh at the time, we were hanging out, and I think I was just looking up people's names that had meanings. So like, you know how like people are like, oh, my name means this in like another language, or like I don't know, whatever. And I came across Erlen, and it means song in whatever website that it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, this is sick. And I don't know, there was like another band that was like Letters or something like that, and I was just like, this sounds really cool. And there's no Erlen in real life, and there's no real meaning to the band name at all.
17-year-old us thought it was so fucking bad.
Also, like, we're getting up there when like the high school talent or like coffee shop thing is Cold by Crossfade. Like that just dated us as hardcore millennials, if anything.
Yeah.
That song still slaps though. I still every time it's a never skip.
I agree. Crossfade is still great. I have a signed CD from them.
I love it.
Still, and it's up on the monitor. It's great.
We gotta bring it back. We gotta cover it again.
Oh yeah,
it's been like,
well, that's like, well, they're coming back to tour or to play a show or something, whatever they're doing, and then B, yeah, it's like that was the first one. So
it's kind of funny. We did, we played like a newlywed game a couple months ago, and one of the questions was like, if you could play a song together, what would it be? And both of us, of course, were like, we're never going to get this. And we turned the card around, and it was Crossfade.
Oh my God. Look, I don't care what anybody says. Thousands Divorced Dad Rock is like, just, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I like that. It just is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so then like obviously open mic nights and stuff like that. How did doing that kind of like build your guys's confidence for, what you were doing, like making this a career, that kind of thing? How did all of that kind of like build your confidence and build your like surety, that's not a word, of this?
Surety, yeah.
Or surety.
Yeah, for surety. As far as confidence goes back then, there wasn't really a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we just knew at the time that we wanted to get up there and play. I don't know about you, but everything leading up to us playing live was like the most nervous I've ever been. Getting on stage and like finally playing, just all the nerves went away. So I guess that's where the confidence comes in.
Right.
But
it's the roller coaster effect. Like, before you get on a roller coaster, you got all that anticipation and everything. And then it's like, once you're on the roller coaster, you're like, wow, it was so fun. That was so awesome. It's like the more you do it, or the more you get on the roller coasters, the more you, the more you obviously are able to just hop right on and have no problem. And it's like, that slow build.
Yeah.
In terms of playing live, yeah.
Yeah. So how did you guys go? Like, was there like a conversation, or was it just kind of a let's just fucking do it when it came from just doing covers to doing original music and actually taking it to the next step?
I actually don't know what that switch was. I don't think there was ever any conversation about writing our own stuff. I think it just kind of happened.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, the earliest memory I can think of regarding starting to do original stuff was the fact that I started writing lyrics in our environmental science class that we were in together, and so that's basically all we were doing in that class. Eventually, like that's all we were doing
Mm-hmm.
was just writing lyrics or writing songs, and then we would just go back to my garage
Out of the
and
garage.
record on Mixcraft 5 or whatever.
So then I guess the biggest question is, did any of those lyrics from environmental science ever make it onto an Underclassmen track?
No,
Not a one.
we buried them.
I was just going to say, did you keep them and then look back and go, oh my God.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
They stay privated on some like encrypted, hidden
Triple password protected.
yeah, triple pass, biometric, some sort
You
of
need a
login.
fingerprint, a blood sample, and like part of an
Yeah.
organ to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Aside
Human
from the, I think, 3 people that put on CDs, but
Yeah.
for some
Wait.
reason.
You guys made CDs?
Yeah, we printed our own. So we bought little stickers that so after you burn the CDs, you just put them on top. Incredible.
And then we just burned the CDs, just like incredible
amazing.
quality. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So who kind of is responsible for what when it comes to writing? Is it like Dan's in charge of the like more music, or you? Because I know you guys are working with people, but when you first started like working on your own music, was it like Justin, were you the one writing 90% of the lyrics? Was Dan like in charge of the music? Like how did all of that kind of like shake out?
Yeah, when we first started writing our own stuff without the the whole producer co-writer thing out in Arizona
Mm-hmm.
that we had. I don't know. I don't think it was ever really a conversation. It was just it wasn't so much a conversation. It was just kind of whatever flowed most naturally. I think it's still kind of that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think at this point I do the lyrics and then he does the instrumentation.
Except there are some exceptions to this where he'll be like, I pieced together this impossible guitar riff and I want you to learn it. And so we'll spend a whole day of me just getting angry about this. It's like I recorded each note separately and then put it all together. So you're just gonna have to figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. If I hear something, I will put it down and we'll do like a slight demo of it.
That makes sense.
And then he'll learn it all and he'll play it.
So let's kind of fast forward a little bit. Justin, you met your now wife, left all of us in New York to go to LA. And then Dan, what was the kind of the mentality of you moving out there? Was it always a plan for you to move out there, or were you just kind of like, fuck it, let's go?
Oh God, no. Yeah. Honestly, I was kind of in the mentality that I think a lot of people in Syracuse had, that they're just like, this is my forever home and I'm never leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he moved out here, it was still kind of the same mentality. Like I didn't think that I would actually ever move out here. And then I came to visit and we filmed a music video for a Lettuce Maryland song. And
The last Lettuce Maryland song.
Yes,
Wait, whoa. Wasn't that what was it? Dear Rosie?
It was Dear
Oh
Rosie.
my God.
So I guess Lettuce Maryland did kind of make it into the Underclassmen.
I don't know if any of the lyrics survived though and made it to the fresh one.
Dear Rosie did.
Really?
Yeah,
Dear
that was
Rosie.
yeah.
Yeah,
Dear Rosie.
Yeah, I guess the
yeah.
lyrics Dear Rosie survived. Yes.
There's like a whole music video and everything.
Yeah. So I guess that was kind of like a push because when I got back, I was just I was just kind of not in like I don't know. I felt stuck, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I was finishing up a lease at my apartment, and I didn't really I didn't know what was next. I think coming out here to visit him and kind of see the environment was kind of just like a test run of what could be next. So yeah, after I got back, I told my parents that I wanted to come out here, and then along with most of my friends, just like, nah, you're not doing it. And then I actually did, and here we are, freaking 8 years later.
I honestly also didn't think I was like, Dan's not gonna leave. Are we kidding
Yeah.
me? And then all of a sudden you guys are like, road trip, and I'm like, oh, he did.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
did
I
leave.
didn't think I was going to either. It was a wild ride leading up to the actual move out date.
Yeah. So you guys are out there.
Moving across the country, there's a lot to do with it.
Didn't you have that tiny ass car that the two of you literally drove cross country in?
It was decent. It was a Nissan Sentra. It had more trunk space than I've ever seen in a car like that. So that was a great help. Yeah.
Look, if I could do it in a Civic.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's the car I was thinking of. And like, I know one of you drove out there in like a freaking, basically like a 2-seater.
Yep. Yeah, mine was a 2008 little Honda Civic.
Did you buy the trunk on top for it?
I did. Oh, yep, I did buy a little like luggage thing that you put on top of the car. I of course DIY'd everything at that point, so it was literally held down by tie down straps that went into the car through the windows.
Yep, that sounds about right.
And Dan did not do that, so he made with less space than I did.
Well,
maybe. We made it. That's all that matters.
Yeah,
exactly. So then you guys are out there. You're, doing what you got to do to make ends meet, still pursuing the music thing. When did it go from Letters to Ireland to the Underclassmen? Like, how did all of that pan out?
It was the meeting of our former managers that all kind of happened, that whole change. So we met one of the managers who was like specifically artist management, and he liked our music enough, I guess. Super great word still to this day, but he got us in touch with a producer that he worked with who's out in Arizona. His name's Curtis Douglas. He's a fantastic producer and songwriter. And we went out there to meet with him. He also, liked us, I guess, and what we had going on enough to let us come out there and kind of just get a feel on what we were looking to do and everything. So we kind of started, with the mindset that we were going to continue kind of in the direction of what we had going on with Letters from Ireland, and, which was the more acoustic, guess like acoustic emo, I guess you could call it, or whatever. But he I guess saw something else in us, something different, and thought, I guess, that we could really probably do pop, because he said my voice was very pop. That was kind of one thing.
Yeah,
and we both just kind of gave off that. This was 2017, so the Chainsmokers were still a thing. But that was like kind of the idea, was that we were like, we had the Chainsmokers thing going on, where we were like just a duo of like, not like model-esque dudes, you know what I mean? Where we were just kind of a little more like approachable, and that's kind of like the vibe that we wanted to go with, was that we were just, two regular looking dudes just making super cool music. And yeah, I don't 100% know why pop was like the direction, but I know that he saw it and then he threw it out there, and we received it, and we were like, we'll give it a shot. We would have given anything a shot. Yeah, I think, because still direction was like a huge thing for us in finding out, where we were going with that.
Yeah. So you released Former Life, which is your first single. What was that like? Like having it out there, having it released, like, yeah, what was it like?
It was a crazy progression, I would say, because Former Life started off as an acoustic song. And I think Curtis at the time, because we weren't really sure, even after coming back from Arizona, we weren't really sure what the direction was still. And Curtis was like, well, I have a couple of ideas. I have an engineer that I work with. And he was like, we can put some pop elements into it and see what you guys think. So I think like a week or two went by and we got a couple of mixes of the updated Former Life and we were like, holy shit, this is sick. And I think at that point we were just like, maybe we can make all of our songs from here on out more poppy or have more pop elements. So that's the one that we decided to release. And I think at that point we were just like, all of our songs should be like this. So yeah, the releasing Former Life as a pop song after doing acoustic stuff only for the past like 10 years was kind of mind blowing because I don't think, at least for me, I didn't think that we would ever venture into another genre as high energy as pop music. So releasing that was incredible.
Yeah. Justin, how was it for you?
Yeah, I would agree with everything. I would have never thought we would have gone that direction either.
Mm-hmm.
But the way we made it sound made sense because we were still into those, we were into, metal music, hardcore, metalcore, whatever you want to call it. And, we were into those big, huge, like anthemic courses that are, prevalent in that kind of music and, like A Day to Remember and stuff like that. Their choruses are huge. They're so catchy and easy to sing along with. And that's like, we still ended up doing that with the pop music. So we've kind of felt like, or at least I felt like it was honestly a pretty natural progression. And then, we ended up exploring a couple different avenues, a couple different sounds that were more like, EDM, kind of a little bit more in like the EDM pop direction, but still, yeah, seeing it go from the acoustic songs that we started with, especially watching Former Life develop, that was honestly crazy.
Yeah.
Because Former Life was the song that like, I guess changed how we could see things, how we could see ourselves doing things, and certainly our ability. Yeah. We talked about confidence a little while ago. It's like that I think really built, or established the confidence that I think that I still kind of run with today.
I think especially for you too, because when we wrote acoustic songs, you're, I think, just vocally for you, I think, like we were so just playing. Oh my god, I can't speak. We were so just comfortable playing it safe with the lower register vocals.
Yeah, I was terrified to do high notes.
Yeah, so Curtis was like, I know you can do it, so fucking we're gonna go in there and you're not gonna leave until you can sing anything higher. So I think Former Life, well actually the three songs that we left there with, I think Former Life, Dear Rosie especially, they definitely, Curtis definitely helped us build more confidence in just our writing capabilities and starting off at a higher level, I guess.
Yeah, that experience really broke us out of the shell, I think, that we were still in from New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. Syracuse tends to put people in shells, so you kind of need to.
It does. Yeah. So for some people it works.
Like, Q's will always be home, but good Lord. I can't. But what was some of the feedback you got from people? Because obviously everyone was very used to your like acoustic sound. You were doing Bring Me the Horizon covers. You were doing A Day to Remember covers. Like obviously your guys' first project together was a Crossfade song. So to go from like rock and, metal covers and doing like acoustic to all of a sudden jumping over to pop kind of out of left field, what was the feedback from a lot of people that were very used to the sound that you used to be, and now you're just like, oh, hey, by the way, we released a pop single. Like, what was that like?
It was so much more support than I expected. We got a ton of good feedback on it. And it was also really nice going through, or starting our voyage through the music industry, I guess. Like showing it to other industry people. That was awesome too. That feedback was really good, really solid, really good, because most of them were like, yeah, that's a pretty good song,
Yeah.
And that made us feel really great. It made me feel really great, man.
Yeah, it's always not putting down our friends' opinions at all, but hearing industry people that literally are in it to listen to music tell us something positive about something we've created, freaking just sky high.
Sure.
For us,
Yeah.
it was awesome.
Yeah, it's like, it's like your idol telling you what you're doing is awesome,
Yeah.
as opposed to like, your mom who like,
Yeah.
you expect it, you appreciate it, you expect it, but it's just there's something different.
Yeah, there's 1,000% kind of like that extra level of validation that you get. Cause like, same thing for me. Like, you guys think this pod's great. And I'm like, I mean, it's all right. Like, it's all right. And then like my mentor or somebody that's like, been doing podcasting and social media, it's like, no, like it's really good. I'm just like, oh my God, it is. And it's not like, that's not discounting you guys, but like, it's just, it's like that when people that are actually doing this for a living are like, no, actually you've got some potential. This is actually going to go somewhere. I don't know how far, but it's going to go somewhere. And it's just like, oh, I do get it. So I totally get that. It's not discounting anybody's opinions at all. It's just like, industry professionals are going to have like slightly more of a weighted opinion than people that just love and support you and think that you're fantastic and the best thing since sliced bread,
Yeah. It's just a different tier of necessity, because I couldn't have done this like without friends and family, without that support. So it's like that, it's like the foundation, and then, you start working at everything else regarding people that are in your industry.
Yeah. So then you guys have kind of, as of the last couple of years, obviously things really kind of slowed down with the pandemic happening. And, obviously like traveling to Arizona really wasn't going to be a thing anymore and blah, 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 blah. So you guys have, as of the last like couple of years, you're no longer under management. You're re-releasing your music. How much did that kind of like affect you all mentally, especially when you're dropping certain things and now you're doing this basically on your own?
I think it gave us a lot of time to think about what we wanted to do. With management, it was always nice because they always plan stuff for us.
Mm-hmm.
Like interviews or like podcast episodes and stuff. So there was always like a plan. And then after that stopped, I think it gave us a lot of breathing room to kind of like slow things down and think about what our next steps were going to be. And throughout the pandemic, I'd say it was kind of easier to plan things just because we didn't have to relay our ideas to management anymore. And it was just like what we kind of wanted to do. Not to say that they were like dictators about what we chose to do or anything, but after everything stopped, I think our decision making was it got better.
Right.
I definitely agree. Yeah, because COVID happened, COVID kind of brought about, I think, the end of the whole management thing, because once we released Former Life and dive in a couple, or I think Fly With Me as well, at least before COVID, or like all the lockdowns happened and stuff.
Yeah.
We had that year 2020 pretty much, planned out with starting shows and more releases and stuff like that. And I think COVID, of course, made people think about everything that they're doing. It's like each individual went through their own thing. And I think that's kind of what led to our separation with management. It was just kind of everybody had their own things going on. And, one thing led to another pretty much. And I mean, things change, obviously. And that's, I think, something that we took from that a lot is, we really went in, the management. We like loved the idea of having management because, we were just scared to kind of make that jump a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And, didn't know where to start, didn't know where to go, and thought it would just be easier, which, it is. But there's that element, of course, where, that it's a collective decision as opposed to, a more individual one. I mean, it's collective between me and him all the time. But, it's different having two other parties in it and everything. So it was, and then, after we moved on from the management, it's like, that switch to, like, what do we do next? But I think it was pretty, it was definitely an experience of growth for us, because it's like we really had to kind of dig deep and, figure out what it is that, we're doing this for.
Yeah.
And find that motivation that, to stay consistent with it and keep going with it, and not just be like, well, we can't do this on our own, so we're done.
Yeah.
Right. No,
So we
1,000%.
can't do it.
Yeah, you absolutely can, because let's just like talk. Yeah, 2020 had the pandemic, but 2020 was also kind of a big year for you guys, because you guys were featured on Frank Zumo's EP, which was like, when you guys got that call, what was that like? Like, holy shit, or
Yeah. It was pretty holy shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, because that came about. Yeah, right leading up until 2020.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, they just called. They were like, "Hey, I showed Frank this song. He really likes it. He wants it for his EP. He wants the drum on it." And then and it's like, yeah, that crazy experience.
Yeah, because at that point, Holy Ghost was recorded.
Yep,
Mhm.
recorded, like finished.
Yeah. We were going to release it, and then Frank, I guess, was looking for, I forgot the word that Curtis used, but he was looking for kind of more like mellow-y songs for his EP, because the rest of them are freaking like high energy bangers, yeah.
They're pretty good.
But yeah, hearing that, because I think Curtis was working with Frank on other stuff. Yeah, hearing someone like Frank Zumo liking our songs and wants to have us like release it from him was mind blowing.
Yeah, he was super cool about everything.
Was it 2020 or was that 2021?
No, it was definitely 2020, because
2020.
I was at
Yeah, because remember we did that live stream charity thing. That was in 2020.
Yeah,
during
no.
the lockdown, but we couldn't have a live audience. We had to do a live stream.
Yeah, because I FaceTimed you to be like, hey, meet my new boyfriend that's now my ex-husband.
Oh yeah.
At that thing, I was like, oh, you're doing that live thing. Whoops.
Yeah.
When did we film Dive In then? Because Frank was at Curtis's studio while we were filming Dive In, and we met.
2019.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Time just not exist.
Time is just a thing, because you guys released Fly With Me right before the pandemic, because I remember Rose, for your birthday.
Yeah.
Had all of us.
Then Holy Ghost came out during the.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
I feel like anything pre and post 2020, just like it all goes in the same year.
Merged together.
Yeah. Where it's like pre-COVID and post-COVID. Like I don't know. There's like a wall, and we're just like, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
So then you guys have re-released Former Life, technically independently, like without management. You guys are under a new label, in air quotes.
Yeah. It's so we're heavily, or not heavily. we're involved with Sync now, which is, it's basically the process of getting, it's like TV and film, picking a song. Sync is like, the music that goes into TV and film,
Right.
or commercials, or what have you. And this company called Yippee Ki is basically they're like a label, but they're, I think eventually they want to be a label. They take care of basically the publishing side, which, a label also does. But, it's like they're just a little bit different, because they do give a ton of freedom. And that's kind of like, we do release independently, but it's like, it goes into Yippee Ki-Yay's tool bag, of songs.
Right.
But they're not released to the public in that manner. That's still on us to be able to do.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what we really like about Yippee Ki-Yay, is that they really want to give still a lot of flexibility, a lot of freedom to the artists, while also getting them into Sync, which is like, Sync is like a whole crazy little world of its own.
Right. So then your first single, Without Management, The Whole World's Fucked. Like, absolutely phenomenal.
Thanks.
It was The Whole World's Fucked, right? Like,
yeah.
Okay, I'm not doing Dan shot a look, and I'm like, shit, was there another one? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, no, we released that without, like, we weren't being managed when we released it, but that was the last song so far that we've released.
Yeah.
with that we did with Curtis.
Yeah, how fun was that to write? Because that is just like the ultimate, if you're down in the dumps and you just want to like, it's the perfect like depresso song, because honestly everything's fucked around here at this point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how fun was that to write, just to be like that kind of like out there with things, when your previous music had kind of been, you know, fun, poppy, like that kind of thing. Then this one just kind of went all out. Like, was it a little terrifying to be a little more vulnerable and like just balls to the wall with the lyrics, or?
Yeah, it was definitely it was really weird because I mean we don't swear in songs or haven't before.
Right. And here in the title, fucked.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's always a ton of fun working with Curtis, just because he's an absolute genius when it comes to writing songs with us. But it was a lot of fun. It was quite the process. We had actually started writing it when he was in LA he did like a writers conference or writers workshop.
Mm-hmm.
With a group out here, and he was staying at our apartment, and he was like, do you have any ideas for songs? And I was like, yeah, I have this guitar part that's been kind of stuck in my head. And so we wrote the guitar part for it, and then it kind of just blossomed from there. And he was like, we should pick a week for you guys to come out to record this song.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just perfect timing.
Yeah, because I know he brought up the idea of, I think, making it like super cynical. I mean, I think I took onto that pretty quickly. I was like, yeah, no, that'd be so fun.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if it had anything to do with the fact that it was or that COVID hit. So I can't remember exactly when. No, I think we went to record it. Dude, I don't remember when we recorded it actually.
Yeah. I'm pretty positive it was for COVID.
Mm-hmm. I think it was too. Yeah, and so I don't think it was. It was like a little scary, I guess. Yeah, that's certainly what he said. Having the word "fuck" right in the tagline is just
right.
My parents are gonna be so mad.
Wild.
Yeah,
it's definitely one of those things where it's like the first thing you're like, "Whoa, what's my family gonna think?"
Right. Christmas is about to be awkward.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So what are you working on? Well, Grandma.
Yeah. And we recorded a clean version called called The Whole World Sucks. And like that's an easy cop out when you're like yeah, the song's called The Whole World's Fucked. And if they're like, yep, that's crazy, and then I could just turn around and be like, well, we do have this one version that's not as cool.
Yeah,
that kind of did happen to you when we tried to run Google ads for the music video. You apparently can't have any swear words in the title or the description or something like that.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. So then we had to work around that.
Oh my god. Too bad Radio Disney is not like really a thing anymore, because like it's like The Whole World Sucks is the Kids Bop like Radio Disney version.
Yeah. 100%.
But what I definitely love about the song is I know it was like basically like for COVID and everything just being a complete shit show, but here we are 5 years later and it still applies to like everything, because are we kidding me?
Yeah, I think there was overlap when we were writing it. I think I remember that because it's like a little more cynical in the sense that like it talks more about like, the chorus is more about like, how people say like, money doesn't matter and stuff like that. So we wanted to go opposite with that. Be like, well, money does make things fun. So
right.
A bit of that too. And then I think, that overlap kind of came in.
So whose idea was it for the music video? I
think it was collectively our videographer, Jason. He's done all of our music videos. I can't get his name. It was Curtis and Jacob Reynolds. Jacob is phenomenal at what he does, and I think Jacob has done a ton of music videos at this warehouse that we did the music video in.
Mm-hmm.
And Curtis had kind of an idea of what to do. It was kind of like all just random and just walking around. And when we got there, it was exactly that. And it was a ton of fun to do because it was just like it was just like, well, what's next? And Justin would be like, I found this coat, and so we put on the coat, and he wore that for a little bit, and then
The jacket was great, by the way.
Oh my god,
yeah, that was
should have just taken it.
Great.
And then the warehouse randomly had a little mini ramp for skateboarding, and Curtis was just like, Dan, get your guitar, get on that. So we're just like, it was the most random, no direction at all kind of music video, and it was probably the most fun I've ever had.
Yeah. The idea just became like be as chaotic as possible.
Yeah. Just like the song.
Yeah. That's literally what I was just gonna say. Like, just kind of match the vibes. So, like, you guys got to look up the music video. Trust me, it is worth it 1,000%. There were things that like my sister caught, like at the very end, like that the little tap that happened at the end. That Kristen was like, "Did you?" And I was like, "No, wait, let me go back and look."
Yeah, the way that happened was, I don't know. I think it was Curtis. Curtis was like, because we were just dancing. I was just like in the background with the giant Liberty head, couldn't see a thing through it. And Curtis was like, Justin, interact with Dan more, and he was like, all right, and then just punched him.
Oops.
Yep.
I see you two are still clearly friends after that, so like it's fine. Oh my god. So like you guys are about to be releasing, so you have one more re-release happening in like April, right?
No, it's actually, it should already be out, or it just came out, or it's like still, I think there may have been like some sort of process, of getting it in there. But yeah, so we have all three of our like original releases that we did prior to Yippee-Ki-Yay now released like under Yippee-Ki-Yay. And so I think all three of those are out there now.
Should be,
yeah. I think Fly With Me just came out literally like a couple days ago.
Like as we speak, like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, probably. That is possible.
Yeah. So with the new music, obviously you're working with a brand new team. How much is the music kind of differing from the first few singles, or is it differing at all?
It is differing. Still has I think the Underclassmen sound, I suppose. That I guess we've kind of built a little bit, but I think we still only had so many songs release that we're still kind of like figuring it out a little bit, or locking it in, I should say. But they do differ, and just that it is just a new team, and we're kind of going in with a lot more of a clean slate, in terms of like when we were in Arizona, it was kind of like an idea that was there, and then we went to go build on it. It's like we're going into the studio and we're starting completely fresh, each time, just writing what feels good, and then I just write lyrics that feel good, and kind of exploring different topics now, because we've been mostly upbeat, positive, with the one exception with The Whole World's Fine.
I mean, it's upbeat, like.
No, it's for sure. It has that weird duality of it sounding really uppity, but the lyrics are like, what?
Right.
But now we're just kind of exploring different things, more like internal stuff at this point, with kind of different, more personal experiences than kind of overall relatable things, I suppose.
Are there any like influences that you're kind of working with? Like, are there certain like artists that you're like, I kind of like their sound, I kind of like their style, like I'd like to bring that into the Underclassmen? Or are you kind of just like, whatever sounds good, like the vibes will hit us when it hits us, kind of thing?
Yeah,
I think it's a little of everything that you just said, because we definitely, Justin and I have definitely become obsessed with this band called The Strike, and we've
thanks for that recommendation.
Yeah,
they're great.
Anybody listening to this, listen to The Strike. They're fantastic.
They're great. Can confirm.
Yeah, so we've tried to put in some of their influence into our songs, but most of the time, I think when we go in to write new stuff, it's we'll just hop on Spotify and like try to get like vibes from other bands, and like go in, like just go into like a deep dive of like pick an artist and then click the little three dots and then go to like similar artists that sound like this and just keep doing that over and over again until we find songs or artists that we like the sound of. I think, I don't know, a couple weeks ago we found something, some song, and it had like really nice percussion in it, and we were like, oh, the snare in that sounds really good. Let's try to write a song that has like a really nice sounding snare in it. So it's like every time we go to write a song, it's completely different. It's a different process every time. It keeps things interesting.
Yeah. Going off of that, oh boy. Kind of bouncing off that. As we go in and we like see, we've just been kind of taking inspirations of like what we're listening to at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So like, sometimes we'll go in and we'll be like, yeah, what are we listening to lately? And yeah, like you said, we'll like grab, a specific song that has that general sound. Like I think he was trying to bring up Dominic Fike. That was like a song that I had just been like, all right, a song and a style that I've been listening to a lot. But Mona Lisa by Dominic Fike I was listening to, and I was like, that just, because right now I think I'm at a point in my life, maybe Dan agrees, but where I am like, I'm a little detached from like the song needing to mean something super, super, super deep, you know what I mean? And I'm more about just like I've been listening and digesting music more of like how it just makes me feel, like just general emotion more so, and just like really nice sonically nice sounding things. And I'm a little bit more at that point in my life where like that's what I'm really focused on. So I think, we just are kind of interested in messing with the emotion a little bit, like, or not messing with the emotion, but, like
feeling the emotion.
Yeah, feeling the emotion and just being able to change it. Because for me, it's just like it can very easily change my emotions these days.
Yeah.
And not like, not like mentally what I'm thinking, whereas like that's how I used to listen.
Right. How do you guys, like, as a band, like, keep going, especially when, you guys are in LA? Everyone's trying to, like, make it big and stuff like that. How do you guys keep up with, like, just the mental weight of, like, having to you've been there for 8 years. You've been doing the music thing either in some capacity for 8 years. So how do you keep up with the mental weight of, like, just keep going and it just still building that foundation versus like giving up because it's been 8 years and you still haven't like hit the level that you want to?
Have fun with that.
Oh God, yeah. Thanks. Honestly, I think it's just the excitement from the people that we write songs with. Constantly, they're just like, when's the next time you guys can, or the next time you guys are free so we can get in the studio, write something new, or finish the song, or really anything. So I think it's, at least for me, it's having people that already do this that are excited to work with us still. Not still, but like, like continuously.
They're not sick of us yet.
Yeah. Because that's always in the back of our minds. I'm not bored. Yeah, like, come on. But yeah, I think for the most part, that's definitely a big motivator for me. Which is, if other people are excited about this, then I should probably get excited. But yeah,
means we're doing something right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the team is awesome that we have right now.
Yeah.
Just good situations surrounded by good people.
That'll do it. I feel like if you have a good like support system, it definitely would help like keep that fatigue from really setting in.
Yep. It's just people keeping each other going.
Have you guys ever like, and this might be like ridiculously personal, but it's me. Hello. Have you guys ever kind of looked at each other and gone, why are we still doing this? Or like, what are we doing here? Or has it always been like, no, we just got to keep going. We got to keep going?
I don't think that thought has ever come to my brain.
No, I don't think so. There's points where obviously it may have, it may be a while just because there's a lot going on at any point in our lives, but there are points I think where we come back together and we're still good. Like you're ready to get back on the horse. It's like, it's kind of like a friend that will always be there, even if it's like been years of talking. It's like I think that's not that it's been years of us not working.
Right.
Maybe a week goes by and we haven't necessarily talked anything music.
Yeah.
But we'll come back and we'll be like, all right, we're good to go.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. It's just because I think this is what I will. This is the one thing in my life that I know I will hate if I don't give it every single bit of, energy that I have, and every single chance, like if I'm able-bodied and my voice is doing okay, it's like, why the hell should I not be trying to do this? And because I know I still want it, and I guess probably the same for you.
No.
Yeah.
Man. So do we have like an approximate date of when new Underclassmen's coming out?
Yeah, I would say kind of, yeah. I mean, we have a lot of songs that are waiting to be finished, are finished, and I think that number just keeps going up. So I think, I think in October or something last year, we had come up with a little map of everything or when releases would be, and then since then we've written a bunch more songs. So I think we're going to have to go over that a little more.
Yeah. We've got no specific date yet. May is the time frame though. Like beginning of summer, like look out for this stuff because and then after that we have releases set for the rest of the year, and hopefully it'll cross over and go into next year, and then hopefully January of next year is okay, and not like this January.
Yeah. We not.
Yeah. We need another one of these. So.
No.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, words are hard. I just completely forgot what I was going to say.
Tell me about it.
You guys have been great with all of this though. Yeah, no, I'm beyond excited for the new stuff to come out because obviously like me being part of the inner circle, I've heard like bits and pieces of the new stuff and I'm just like, when is it coming out? Like I'm ready.
We're stoked. All this stuff is like exactly what we would want to write. But everything feels good going forward. It feels stronger because we have a closer connection to it. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm so stoked for this year.
Yeah. So I guess like one more question. Looking back from high school or even like Funkin' Waffles, like what do you think has like grown the most between you guys as like a band? I can't ask easy questions, guys. Sorry.
My beard?
You can finally grow one.
Yeah, literally.
I have no idea. What a question.
I know.
As a band, what has grown? I think just our writing capabilities in general, just being more confident in what we're writing and not as terrified of rejection in the writing process, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
It really helps that we have, again, working with incredible people. Even if they don't like something, they're not like, oh, I hate that. It's just like, I like it, but maybe let's try something else kind of thing. So I think our writing process has definitely grown since then.
Yeah, I would say our inhibition a little bit too, and like just our I don't know, just like I think our ability to tell if this is like if what we're doing is what we really want to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a lot stronger with me, and also like instead of doing something that I think we need to do, it's like more like I can feel that a little bit more, and then I think, dude, my love for music has grown so much more. Like my relationship with music has grown so much. Specifically, the creative end of it. Like my relationship with creating music is like so much stronger. As much as I can't, like it's crazy to think about, but my confidence too has I think grown a lot too. Like my confidence in myself.
100%.
Wondering so much and so hard, like is this like worth listening to, It's like now I'm a little bit it's grown. I've grown a lot in that, like, I can write things that I do think, things that should be heard, or if it reaches the right person, then it definitely should be heard.
Right. If 10 years ago somebody told you guys that you'd be here,
No.
yeah, wouldn't have believed it. Dan's like, I'm done answering
No.
questions. No.
No.
Not a chance.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Not only would you not be living in Syracuse, but you'll be across the country. You'll have X amount of tracks out. You'll be working with the people that you've worked with. I forgot to mention that Former Life was a freaking exclusive Billboard premiere, which was huge.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yep. If you'd have told 10 years ago, I would never believe that we would premiere a song on Billboard.
No.
Yeah. It is
No way.
absolutely insane how far you guys have come, and you
Just
should.
the fact they know we exist is.
Yeah, and look, there's a lot of self-deprecation here, but
Well, yeah, duh.
Yeah, but it's been crazy, like all these little steps, all these certain people that have come through and just led us to where we are now. And it's like all we're doing is just chilling, wanting to do this thing really, really badly. And it's really crazy just to see how many people, I guess, have fucked with that, if you will.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. So yeah, 10 years ago, my lord, whole different story.
Yeah.
Whole different story.
We were all whole different people 10 years ago, honestly, if you think about it.
1,000%.
22 and 23.
Yeah.
It's fine. Everything's fine. But yeah, so we can find you all where?
You can find us, the Underclassmen, on Instagram. What the heck is it for TikTok now? I'll let
I
you
think
know.
it's still the. I know, I'm about to like look myself like, what is that?
I know that we had to change it because now we're doing different, like starting or trying to start over. Is it the Underclassmen music? Oh no, it is the Underclassmen.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you found it faster than I did.
Professionals is what we are.
Yeah. Okay, so we can be seen.
Wait, no, I think it's.
No, it is. So yeah, you can find us on Instagram and TikTok at the Underclassmen, and
just making sure.
Yeah, those are the main ones. Obviously, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen to your stuff. And then we have a bunch of music videos on YouTube. Yeah, and we have a bunch of music videos on YouTube. We have 2 songs on YouTube that are exclusively only on YouTube, not on Spotify.
Yeah.
So listen to those too if you want more, I guess. And then yeah, dude, May, summertime.
I am so ready. Let's
Yeah,
fucking go.
Is it going to be the song that we talked about? Can we at least give them a name?
Is it going to be the one that I have been on your asses about releasing for the last 2 years?
I think so. That's the one that's like most ready.
Does it begin with an H?
It's a master already.
Yeah. Cold Hourglass.
About time. Oh my god.
Yeah. I think that'll be the one.
Yeah. I think people need to realize that like there's so much that goes into creating a song, which is why it takes so damn long to release.
Yeah. The funny thing about Hourglass, I think that's like a year and a half of writing.
Yeah.
That song has gone through
a
lot of changes.
It's like literally becoming another Former Life.
I think I heard the like demo when I was in LA, and that was end of March 2023.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. Yeah. It's done now, so we're waiting.
Now it's just overdue. But we just don't want to come through, drop one song, and then not release another one for like another year. So we want to make sure that we're like, gonna have stuff to, give to people. You. Viewers like you.
Viewers, okay, PBS. My God. Well, guys, I beyond appreciate you coming on, and
we appreciate you.
A reschedule.
This is awesome. This is an honor.
So yeah, it's long overdue, honestly. But yeah, you guys can catch their new single dropping in May. Go check out their current stuff that's been re-released. Former Life, Fly With Me, A Holy Ghost. That's on Frank Zumo's EP, so you can look for it there. And then dive in. You can find them everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yay! Yeah.
We did it! All right, but thank you guys again so much for hopping on.
We love you.